Hey everyone, welcome to Post to Post. My name is Neil if you're new, and thank you so much for joining me today. We're talking Pittsburgh Penguins versus New York Rangers. Who is going to win this series? It's going to come down to so many different factors. A hard series to predict, actually. You can't, even though the Rangers have done so well this year, you can't ignore Pittsburgh's playoff experience and their success in the last decade or more. So difficult series to predict. Let's get into some numbers here. We're going to go through numbers, notables, my prediction, and my want. Let's start off with numbers. So we look at points. We've got the Rangers at 110, Pittsburgh 103, so Rangers get the win there. Goals for 254 for the Rangers, 272 for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh actually takes the cake there. That's not something I would have predicted. Like if you had told me that the Penguins versus the Rangers were going to meet up in the first round at the end of the season, which team's going to have more goals? I would have predicted the Rangers, so that's a bit of a shocker there for me. Goals against, 207 for the Rangers versus 229. The Rangers have been unbelievable this year in net. Not a surprise there. Goal differential, plus 47 for the Rangers, plus 43 for Pittsburgh. Pretty close. Power play, 25.2% for the Rangers. Excellent. 20.2 for the Penguins. Rangers take the cake there. Penalty kill, 82.3 versus 84.4. Pretty close there, but Pittsburgh does win that one. Record versus, the Rangers are 3-1, where Pittsburgh is 1-3 versus each other. Home record, 27-10-4 for the Rangers, 23-13-5, so the Rangers win there. Away record, 25-14-2, and then the Pittsburgh 23-12-6. Pretty close, but still the Rangers win there. Last 10 games, 6-4-0 versus 5-4-1, and the Rangers win there as well. All right, let's move on to the notables, okay? What factors are going to take place here for each team to potentially get them the win? I've got them written down on the screen here to keep myself on track, so I'm going to be looking this way. So Shesterkin has to be the biggest factor for the Rangers. He could easily win a series 2 or 3 for the Rangers, so he's absolutely up there. 2.07 goals against average, 935 save percentage, unbelievable. But what about Georgiev, as I like to say? Listen, he is one of my favorite players in the entire NHL, goalies rather, but he's done this. He is not the same goaltender that he was. Every time he goes in net, I'm like, I love to watch you play. I'm so happy that you're in net. But oh my goodness, he's so frustrating to watch this season. And I'm sure there's Rangers fans out there who just cringe every time that he goes in net. I do not feel good about Georgiev this season. I don't feel good about it. And if anything happened to Shesterkin, the Rangers are done. I know that's kind of bold to say, and maybe I shouldn't say it, but I truly feel like that. Panarin, 96 points in 75 games. Predictable. Zibanejad, 81 points in 81 games. Awesome. Kreider. Not a big Kreider fan, as some of you can probably suspect since I'm a Canadiens fan. But 52 goals this year. 52 goals for Kreider, and his shooting percentage is 20%, which is unbelievable. I said this I was talking about Draisaitl. He's also at 20%. 20% doesn't seem like a lot, but 20% for someone who's scoring 52 goals, taking a lot of shots, 20% is unbelievable. It's excellent. Adam Fox, and call out there, one of the best defensemen, young defensemen in the entire NHL. Another big factor for me, I don't talk a lot about coaches in these series previews, but Gerard Gallant, he's my man, okay? I'm from New Brunswick, but I lived a lot in PEI. He's from PEI. He coached the Vegas Golden Knights. He was a part of the Montreal organization for a while. He's part of Florida. I felt like he's gotten the short end of the stick in Florida and in Vegas. Let's see Gerard Gallant get some of the success that he deserves. Jeez. Now off to Pittsburgh. Crosby, 84 points in 69 games, still playing at an unbelievable level. Gensel, 84 points in 76 games. They got to keep their eye on him as well. Letang, 68 points. Experience. This is a guy who had so many injuries back to back in so many different seasons. I think there was 5 seasons where only one he played the majority of one season. The rest were just a write-off, basically. So to see him come back from all those injury issues, there was talk about will he retire at one point. To come back and to produce at this level and be pretty healthy, that's awesome. Definitely call it to Letang there. 10 players with over 30 points each. Unbelievable depth on Pittsburgh. That is a very underrated statistic there. Jeff Carter, the Jeff Carter factor. That was interesting to watch him in the playoffs last year, but how's he going to do this playoffs? He's got a lot of experience, so I'm going to keep my eye on him. The biggest question mark and potential series changer for me, if you think about guys that could potentially get hot and just come out of nowhere, Rickard Rakell is that player for me. He's a natural goal scorer, and he has had just massive consistency issues in his career. But there have been stretches where Rickard Rakell has been the best goal scorer, or maybe the best offensive player in the NHL. That's a kind of a bold thing to say, but I'm talking like little tiny stretches of like 5 games in the NHL. So I think there's a lot of potential there for Rickard Rakell. If he can get if he can get a fire lit under him, he could be an absolute series changer for Pittsburgh. So I just wanted to call him out there. Experience overall for Pittsburgh, like I said at the beginning, they're one of the most successful teams in the last 15 years. They've got a ton of playoff experience, and not just keep making the playoffs and going home in the first round. I'm like deep playoff runs, not including their Stanley Cup, two recent Stanley Cups. So lots of experience. What kind of damn goaltending are we going to get from Pittsburgh here? Like, what's Tristan Jarry going to do for Pittsburgh? Last year, he's pretty inconsistent. Overall, they don't really have a lot of experience in net as far as playoffs. So if he goes down, like, what's going to happen? I don't feel good at all about Pittsburgh's goaltending. I think it's going to be their Achilles heel. I strongly believe that the Rangers are going to win this series. That's my prediction. I'm predicting that the Rangers are going to win this series, but I don't think Pittsburgh's going to make it easy on them. I think this is probably going 6, possibly even 7 games. They have some history this year. They've been clanging heads. I think this is going to be a pretty physical and rough and tough series. I'm really looking forward to this series. I can't wait to watch it. Now, who do I want to win? Well, as you guys know, if you follow the channel, I don't really like teams to have multiple years of success, like Pittsburgh, constantly making the playoffs, constantly being in front of me on the TV, winning Stanley Cups. I like to see teams that have not been in the limelight for very much, have not won a Stanley Cup recently or at all. To me, that's the Rangers. I love the transition that they made a couple of years ago. They came out mid-season. They're like, yeah, we're gonna rebuild. Midway through the season, like, yeah, we're gonna rebuild. Like, that takes balls, okay? And I appreciate that stance from the Rangers. My respect level for the Rangers went so far up, and it was the right decision. Look at them. They had an incredible season. They've got an amazing roster. So I'm cheering very much for the Rangers. I'm going to predict that they win, but honestly, I'm not going to be surprised if Pittsburgh wins. They've got an incredible team, and wouldn't surprise me if they went all the way to the end as a bit of an underdog. I guess you could consider them. So yeah, that's my thoughts on this series. Please leave yours down below in the comment section. We'd love to hear from you. Who's going to win this series and why? I read all the comments, guys. And if you're new, please consider hitting the subscribe button. If you did enjoy this video, hit the like button, and I'll talk to you in the next series preview. Adios.